Not going for us, we're good.
I'm gonna wait for him to get out of it and shoot him. What is going on, guys? Craig1287 here. I'm bringing you yet another Battlefield 4 gameplay. Going on there in the background is going to be some footage of Battlefield 4 post-patch. I know I've said I've got a lot of footage built up and saved up from pre-patch, but for this video I'm specifically talking about some of the changes that happened with the patch. That's why I wanted to show footage of the new game. So that's what's going to be going on in the background, and I'll be cutting over to the in-game audio once I get the, we'll get out what I wanted to say. The reason I made this video is to talk about the specific changes that happened to the weapons with their new damage model and some of the other stat changes that has happened to some of the weapons. I included this link in some of the previous two videos talking about the patch, but I didn't actually mention in the video that I would be including this this patch. I kind of tagged it as, you know, if you're brave enough to actually look at all the numbers. What it is if you guys are familiar with Symthic, the website that goes and looks at the actual core files of the game on the PC version, and they actually look at all the numerical values that are in the code that make the games what it is. And that's how they get all the recoil data and bullet spread data, weapon damage, bullet velocity, all those sorts of things. And they compile it there on their website, and they do some cool things with the weapon comparisons, the effects of the attachments, and even some accuracy plots. And with all the new changes, they're working on getting the accuracy plots updated, but they have gone and updated all of their weapon comparisons, and you can go and look at the weapon damages there, but the slew of changes, and they did color coordinate it, are posted in their forum. And again, you know, link is in the video description below if you want to go check it out. There's a lot of changes. I mean, we're talking hundreds of lines of stats. So it's a lot to take in, but again, it's color coordinated. And so what I encourage you guys to do, if you don't have the time to go and read every single individual change, because even I haven't really done that, is just go through, and it's listed alphabetically, all the different guns there, and just go through and look at, you know, the guns. They have the name of the guns listed on the left, and just look for the guns that you're interested in, and look and see if there's a lot of green. That's good. That's like good improvements. That's reduced recoil, reduced spread. That's increased the bullet velocities, things like that. So if you are a big fan of the PDWR, that gun has received some pretty cool perks. And if I just scroll through down, I look at PDWR, it has only one negative, and that's the same negative that has affected 95% of the weapons, and that's that its damage model went from 25 to 24 for its max damage, making it go from a 4-shot to a 5-shot kill weapon. And then the rest of it, though, is reductions to its bullet spread. So it has a tighter spread, it's got a faster bullet velocity, so it's actually a pretty darn good weapon. And you just go through and look at all the changes. Some like the P90 have received an immense amount of improvements. PP2000, a lot of the PDWs and the carbines, especially the PDWs, have received some awesome perks. Now, the one that I find some of the most interesting is the MPX. Now, before the patch, the MPX had a distinct perk to it, that because of its damage model was at 27 max damage rather than the usual 25, it was not as affected by the defensive perk with the body armor as most other guns. Whereas if I was shooting somebody with a 25 damage weapon, and they had the body armor on, and I was hitting them in the chest at close enough range to get that maximum 25 damage, it would take me an additional bullet to kill them. The weapon was not a 4-shot kill. But with the MPX, because of that 27, the percentage that the bullets are reduced at that maximum damage range made it to where it would still be a 4-shot kill. Now, with the patch change, a lot of weapons have gone from 25 to 24 damage. That's pretty significant when you think about it. It's only reducing the damage by 1, but in the sense of things, when you're looking at the realities of things, that makes it go from a 4-shot to a 5-shot. That drastically increases your time to kill in a perfect world where every bullet hits. You know, obviously it's not that drastic, but in reality, where you're dealing with bullet spread, the weapon recoil, and your own personal skill, in addition to netcode still having certain things missing, it's still not a perfect system. So you take in all these things account, having to get that one additional bullet is adding quite a bit to your time to kill. But for the MPX, it has gone from 27 to 26. That means this weapon is still a 4-shot kill. 26 times 4 is definitely, last I checked, that's over 100, and people still in normal core, and the classic mode have 100 health. So that makes this gun, relative to most of the other PDWs, most of the carbines, most of the assault rifles, it has a lower time to kill than any, even something like the FAMAS. Yes, the FAMAS has 1,000 rate of fire. The MPX is at, I believe, 850. So yeah, it's got a faster rate of fire, but it has that 5th bullet that it has to pull off. So this puts the MPX in line up there with something like the ASVAL. The ASVAL did also receive a reduction, but it was in the same boat as the MPX in that before the patch, its damage model was just a little bit different than some of the other ones. So the ASVAL is also a gun that is post-patch a 4-bullet kill, because the ASVAL has now been reduced to doing 29 damage. And with that 900 rate of fire, the ASVAL is still up there for some of the most deadly weapons. The thing is, these weapons have a fair amount of recoil. They're not the easiest weapons to use, especially the ASVAL, that first shot recoil. But so try them out, get good with these guns, and you're going to catch a lot of people off guard in close range because of just how deadly they are, having that 4-bullet kill rather than the 5 that most other things have. Most people just get caught up with the assault rifles, and they think, oh, it's all about the AEK and the Ace-23 and the M416. These are the only guns that matter. And that's really not the case. There are some PDWs that are fantastic out there now, and there are still some carbines that can hold their own. But I figured it was worth noting the MPX and ASVAL, especially the MPX, because of the magazine size that it's got, and the fact that you can toss on any barrel type that you want, whereas the ASVAL is always stuck with being suppressed. But yeah, guys, check these guns out. Check out these patch notes, because there's a lot of very cool things going on now with some of the weapon balance. So, and I know I said I'd cut over to the in-game commentary, but I ended up talking quite a bit more than I expected, which is usually the case. So, whatever. Hope you guys did enjoy the full uncut round there going on in the background, and don't regret not being able to hear the in-game comms. It was a pretty intense round. I thoroughly enjoyed this round. Still loving the new patch. Yeah, guys, check it out. I'm going to do some highlights, I guess, over the next coming days and weeks on weapons and how they have changed and how they perform differently now, like the ASVAL going from 30 to 29, and the AR-160, which is now a beast of a long-range killer. So yeah, expect to see some weapon showcases, I guess you could call it, over the next few days. Hope you guys have enjoyed the gameplay going on there in the background, and hopefully that you check out the Symthic site and just look at that stuff. But otherwise, look out for the videos coming in the future. Hope you guys have enjoyed all of it. Have a good one. Ta-ta.